Welcome to 15-Minute Yoga. My name is Bill Iki, and today we're going to focus on the hips. We're going to begin in a seated position. You might want to sit up on a blanket or a block or a folded towel, something to raise the hips just a little bit, or you might be perfectly fine on your mat. We're going to begin by placing the hands back to the sides and just behind the torso, fingers pointed forward. Extend the legs and let the legs go wide. Begin, left leg, left foot tilts in, leg sweeps, foot tilts out, leg sweeps. Right foot in and out. Left foot in, leg sweeps and out. Right foot in and out. In and out. In and out. Very good. Once more on each side. And you'll note the movement of the hips as we go through that little flow. Now bend the knees, and again, keep the legs fairly wide. Let's begin by simply taking the left knee, tilting it in toward the right, and then back out and center. Right knee in and out, back to center. Now side to side, left in, left out, center, right in, right out, center. We'll continue alternating legs, bringing the knee in and out, and maybe feeling a little bit of pull in the hip muscles as we move through this. Once more each side. And very good. Let's move down onto our backs. We'll begin by hugging the knees into the chest and gently rolling side to side. We're not moving very far. We're gently massaging the back. If you're rocking, come to stillness. Let the feet come to the mat. Arms are down by the sides. Now bring the heels back close to the torso. We're going to move through a flowing bridge pose, and we'll do several of these. Begin by lifting the hips up off the mat, raising the arms high. Arms go overhead. Backs of the hands come down to the floor. Then we begin to raise the arms back up. Hips lower slowly. Our goal is to try and get the hips and the hands to come back to rest on the mat at the same time. Once again, hips lift up, arms lift up. We want to get the hips to their maximum height and the arms back to the floor at the same time. And down. Now you'll notice that this is a slow and intentional movement. It's a movement that we do with some purpose. Let's do two more flowing bridge poses. Arms and hips come back to the mat at about the same time. And finally, we lift the hips, raise the arms overhead down to the mat. And everything comes to rest. Very good. Let's move into a full body stretch. Arms go overhead, toes point forward. And release the arms back down by the sides. Bend the knees. Hands are down by the hips, palms flat on the mat. Extend the arms out away from the body in a kind of a T shape and drop both knees over to the right. If it's not uncomfortable, your gaze can go out over the left fingertips. Relax into this position. If any muscles are tight, let them soften. Bring the knees back up to center, and then drop the knees over to the left, gazing out over the right fingertips if that's not uncomfortable. Once again, do a little scan of the body and relax any muscles that are tight, including muscles of the face around the jaw or between the eyebrows. And come back up. Begin again with the arms stretched out overhead, and the legs long. We're in our full body stretch here. We're going to move through a flow that'll be good for our hips. Begin by bringing the right knee back toward the chest and grasping that knee on the front with both arms. Left arm goes out to the left away from the body, and the right hand guides the right knee down toward the floor. Knee comes back to center, left hand comes across and grasps the knee. Right hand goes out in a T position. Left hand pulls the right knee to the left. Right hip comes off the mat. Come back to center. Both hands come behind the leg while the leg straightens. Toes flex. The toes pull down towards the chest while the hands pull the leg long. Release the leg. Let the leg fall back to the mat while the arms go overhead. Other side. Left knee comes in toward the chest. Grasp in front of the knee. Pull that knee in. Right hand goes out in T position. Left hand guides the left knee down to the mat. Knee comes back to center. Right hand comes across. Pulls the left knee off to the right. Left hip comes off the mat. Left arm extends away from the body. Knee comes back to center. Both hands grasp the knee behind, the leg behind the thigh. Toes point down toward the chest. Hands pull the knee back in. And everything releases and we move back to our full body stretch. We'll move through that flow again just a little faster and a little smoother. Right knee comes back to the chest. We grasp the front of the knee. Left hand extends out. Knee drops down to the right. Knee comes back to center. Left hand comes across, grasps the knee, pulls it off to the left. Right hip comes off the mat. Both hands sweep behind the leg straightens, toes pull down toward the chest, hands pull the leg back toward the chest, and we return to our full body stretch. Other side, grasp the left knee on the front, pull it in. Left hand guides the left knee off to the left while the right arm goes away from the body. Left knee comes back to center, right hand comes across. Left arm goes out while the right hand pulls the knee off to the right. Knee comes back to center, both hands grasp behind the leg straightens, toes point down. Hands pull the leg toward the chest. And we go back to our full body stretch and finish by bringing our hands here down to the mat. Very good. Roll over onto your left side and spin around, coming up into our tabletop position. Now, from tabletop, drop down onto your forearm. Lift the right leg up high, and then bend the leg at the knee so that the right foot goes out over the extended left leg, and the right knee pulls up toward the ceiling, stretching the right hip a bit. We'll hold this pose for just a few breaths. And release, bringing that knee back to the mat. Left knee goes up. Bend that left knee. Left foot goes across the extended right leg. And the left knee tries to pull up toward the ceiling, opening that left hip. Again, we'll hold this position for a breath or two. And then release. Very good. We're going to come down onto our stomachs and cross the arms in front so that the forearms are parallel to the short edge of the mat. Bend both knees. Soles of the feet face the ceiling. And begin to just slowly windshield wiper the legs. Come to stillness. Let the legs drop. Now, legs should be touching. Big toes touch, knees might touch. We're going to begin here by bending the knees, letting the feet go up toward the ceiling, and then sending the feet away from each other while keeping the knees together. So the legs make a V shape. Then bring them back in. Open again. Legs make a V shape. Bring them back in. Open. Bring them back in. Open into the V. Legs together. One more time. Open into a V. Legs together. Let the legs come down and let the feet go wide, about as wide as the mat. Bend the knees again. Now this time we're going to cross the legs, making an X shape. Pull the feet in towards the torso. Notice that one of the legs is closer to the torso and one is further away. Open and cross the other way so that the leg that was further away is now closer. Open. Move the legs into that X position. Open. X position. Open. Cross. Open. Cross. Open. Cross. Once more. Open. Cross. Very good. Bring the hands under the shoulders. Push up back into our tabletop position. Slide the hips back toward the heels and come around into a seated position again. Now this time, bring the soles of the feet together into a bound angle pose. So I'm sitting upright. Let the crown of the head extend up high. Let the back straighten. Feel the sitting bones sink into the mat. On an inhale, increase the length of the body. And on an exhale, fold forward. Inhale, expand. Exhale, fold. Inhale, expand. Exhale, fold. When you get to your edge and you feel you can't fold anymore, relax the neck and the head to hang down. Now, this is a pose in which we can exert a great deal of tension in the muscles. You might feel that in the shoulders, arms, legs. Relax those where it's possible to do that. You might also find that as you exhale, on each exhale, you can fold forward a bit more. We'll hold this position for several more breaths. And come up. Cross the legs into a comfortable seated position. That concludes our 15-minute yoga class for today, where we worked on hips. Please feel free to close your eyes and sit and relax for several minutes before finishing your practice today. Thank you and happy yoga.